Hello! So, today I am gonna be practicing on how to set up my Sunda from Kammok. And I'm doing this because there was of course the issue with the Kickstarter and a recall, so I didn't get to test it out last season. And when I tested it out this season, I had a malfunction and I had to return it and get a new one. And I'm not certain if it's something that I'm doing wrong with it or if I'm just unlucky. So I'm just going to test it out. I'm going to do the hammock. I have also an underquilt. This underquilt is from Go Outfitters. I'm going to test that out on it as well. I'm going to test out the tent mode. I have a gear loft. It's just this really unassuming thing, but I think it's going to be kind of great. So I've set up my camera and I'm just gonna record while I do this, and if I fail spectacularly, at least there will be witnesses, right? So I'm not gonna talk for this, you don't wanna see it in real time anyway. So I'm just gonna set up my hammock between these two trees and we'll just see it from there, okay? Right. Okay, right, so that took longer than it should have, obviously, mostly because I haven't set this one up before, so I hadn't fed the channels correctly. So the Nadima cords, they're very flexible, so as you can see I'm very close to the ground on this. It's not supposed to be like that. I'm not supposed to be this close to the ground, but you're not supposed to be using the hammock without the rainfly on top. So that's why there's so much architecture going on with the bug net that you can't fasten any other way. So I have a Kammok roo as well, which is just a hammock, and I guess I'm a bit spoiled because it just folds away easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to tighten this a bit, and then I'm going to set up the rainfly, and we'll see how that goes. So there we are. That took way longer than I expected, but then again, it is the first time that I'm setting this particular one up. I've only set up a Sunda once, and that's the time it broke. There's a long story behind all that, but let's see how this worked out, shall we? Let's unclip this somehow. There we go. So it's now anchored here. All four corners. Here's the two cords holding it up. This clip is included. This is giving me some problems. I'm simply not used to this way of tightening lines, this minnow clip. It's giving me all sorts of bother. I'm guessing it's just a matter of actually training to get it right. So this is what it looks like inside. Open up this. So inside we have the hammock, and as you can see it's hanging from these little hooks on the frame itself. and the ends are sort of free hanging. And I'm just gonna try to climb into this and see what happens, because that's what we came here to do. There's a lot of architecture that goes on in here. Not quite sure how much of this we need to connect. There is this very handy manual that was included, and it states that you're supposed to connect 8 tent pole clips, which I have, and pretty much nothing else. So that's what we're gonna do. I do admit that I'm a tad bit apprehensive, given that this collapsed on me the last time I tried it. That was out in the wild, and I had to sleep on the ground. But we'll try this out. Oh, it's just super comfy. Get the camera in here. Okay. So, it didn't collapse. Yay me. Okay. Let's give this a go. So, let's just see how this works when you have somewhat impaired balance. I'm still very low to the ground, I feel. But that's just me hanging this stuff wrong, I'm guessing. So, the hammock is set. It's very wide. You can fit 2 people in here if you wanted to, easily. I'm not sure on this end here, this end piece. I'd like to secure that somehow. Not sure if I'm allowed to. I don't think I am, because so they've been very clever when they designed this. So as you can see here, this clip is yellow, right? And that's yellow as well, and that's yellow. So that means hammock mode. This clip is clearly not yellow. So that means tent, right? So I'm not supposed to use it. Even the tent pole is red. I have a bug inside now. Hello, bug. I don't want to have you in here. But I didn't close the bug net, so I guess it's my fault. So I'm not sure if I'm able to tie this end off, or if it's supposed to hang down like this in my face. I'm guessing we'll just have to test it out. So let me tell you how this works. Okay, so this was a Kickstarter campaign, right? It was a Kickstarter campaign. It was very successful. Very happy for Kammok to have launched it. I pledged early, and then there were, of course, as there always are with Kickstarters, some delays. That happens, completely understandable. And as I was waiting for my Sunda to arrive, I got another letter, and it was for a product recall. See, this is what happens when you don't close the outer tent. A product recall. So I actually got the slip to return the Sunda before I actually got my Sunda. And it was because of an error in manufacturing. There was a seam that wasn't sitting quite right, and it ended in some accidents. So they recalled them. So I only had the rain fly and the footprint. And so I used that actually with my Roo and a Dragonfly, which is a bug net also by Kammok. That was nice. Anyway, and then I got this back, and it was not season for going out hammocking for me. It's just way too cold here in the winter. So then I decided I was going to go for a walk. So I went for a walk. It's a 65-kilometer walk. I decided to take a weekend, go for a walk, and it came roughly halfway and wanted to set up my hammock, and I did. And I don't know quite what happened, but the rain fly up here tore wide open. And I'll leave a link in the description so you can see the damage. So then it fell to the ground. It collapsed on me, and it fell to the ground, and there was a rip in the bug net as well, with bugs on the inside. So, but anyway, so I reset it, made it into a tent, which is fantastic for this product. I really love it for that. And it was such a great tenting experience. I wasn't expecting that. So I just hung out in the tent. Of course, I didn't have a proper air mattress or anything like that. So it was a bit, lumpy, but slept really well and got off and walked the next day, got to where I was going. And then I got in touch with Kammok. I showed them my clip, and they said, yeah, this is a product recall, something's wrong. And they took it back, and I just got it back in the mail, and now I just wanted to test it out, right? Was it something that I did? Is there something else? What am I missing here? So this is sort of my trial run. So I'm going to go out, mount this back onto its little tripod, and I'm going to reset this for tent, which means I'm going to take the hammock down. Then I'm going to take the tent down, put in the arch. There's an arching sort of spine for this thing. I'm going to set that up, put the footprint down, put the tent. This will then be the tent body, and then I'm going to try the gear loft, and we're going to see how much time that takes. Whew, it's getting warm. Okay. Right, so that's the tent. I haven't set the corners with their stakes because there's no wind to talk about. So this is what it's like in the tent mode. I'll try this gear loft too, but we're gonna climb inside and look what this is like. So this tent, when I set it after the hammock had collapsed on me just a tad, I realized how roomy this is. Like I've had 3-man tents before, but those were very bulky to carry around. This is nothing like that. Nothing like that tent that I have now. So this is very spacious, right? Has a lot of room. I'll just use me for scale. So if my feet are at that end, then, and my head's here, hello, then this is the far end, right? So it's very long. And if I'm on one end, I come right up against the edge of the tent. I have this much space. So there's a lot of breathing room in here, which I really liked. This is of course the hammock body itself, and it's on a footprint, which is, you can't hardly see it now, but there's a footprint out here that's underneath this thing. And if you have the Mesa, also from Kammok incidentally, you could use that or any other tarp if you want to increase your footprint and make it a bit thicker. Personally, I think that having something soft on top of this would just be insta sleep at this point. So it's all connected up. The spine here connects to 2 anchor points, one on either side. The bottom is connected to its side. You can open the short ends of this for ventilation, like so. I don't think you're supposed to use that as an entrance or exit, but if you want to, release some condensation or stuff. So I'm going to test out the gear loft, and we're going to see how that turns out. So this is the gear loft. It connects right under the spine and then down to one end. You can of course do it to either end. It's not like it's a thing. So it's not very big. I think I pictured it bigger, but this has a mesh, so technically you could, let me get a device at me. So technically you could, you know, rest a device up there and look at the screen in case you have like a phone or a pad that you want to watch some content on while you're laying here. So it's not intrusive in any way. I'm thinking, I have a Luminoodle, which is like this USB powered waterproof cord light, and I could use that to make a very lovely sort of night light in here. Very lightweight material. You can store some things in here that you don't want to have outside and that you want to have in easy reach, like your light or your camera that you don't want to, you know, roll onto if you're here in here, especially if there's more than one of you in here. More than one of you. And if there's more than one of me, there's a whole other type of issue. Clone tents. Oh well, let's not get into that right now. So there's still a lot of architecture here that is not being put to use right now for fastening things on. Not quite sure what all this stuff is, but you could technically have 2 gear lofts in here, I guess, maybe, possibly. Anyway, it's a nice addition. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to take it all down again. Oh yeah, you can put this up as a rain fly as well, and then you just leave out the tent body and just leave it on its foot, on its tarp footprint. Easy peasy. But this is the full tent mode. So I'm gonna take this down and I'm gonna set it up again as a hammock because I need to try it out, and I'm gonna fasten my underquilt to it and see how comfy I can get in it, and if I set it sort of for real. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Right, so we are set up with the underquilt from Go Outfitters. I haven't tied this down yet, but as you can see, it's hanging fairly low. This is hanging low. I'm not sure if it's the yellow cord that's doing that or something else, but it is fairly low. That's going to pose a problem because that's going to make the underquilt really uneven. It's going to make it a bit of a challenge. Just get in here and sort it out as we go. Whoa! Now this is hard holding a camera. Now the underquilt doesn't need to be flush up against my bum. That's fine. I'm very far off one end now. So this is still going to take some getting used to, I think. And this is going to be warm because it's a warm day today, and underquilt is going to be really warm. So, final thoughts. I think my one complaint about this whole thing is this yellow cord. It might be difficult to see now, but there's a yellow cord that ties off, cinches off the hammock. You don't use it in tent mode, you use it in hammock mode. It is short. It doesn't actually reach end to end in the channel where it's sewn. That could have been designed differently, I think. Also, I think there's a lot of stretch in that cord, which means that I'm now closer to the ground than I would like to be, but it's not ripping. There's no big tension in any of these joints onto the rainfly, and it's very comfy in here. It's just very warm. But that's pretty much it, and I'm very happy that I got this. I'm looking forward to using it out in the field and giving it some more time. But now at least I've tested it out, and everything seems to be working. And whatever happened last time must have been a fluke of some kind. Thank you all for watching. No need to subscribe. Contents on this channel is far too infrequent. You can scroll back and look at some other clips. I have some thoughts regarding my walks when I've been out doing my hikes, about gear and conditions and how badly my feet hurt, stuff like that. And maybe I'll see you another time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.